G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Where's My Yowie. Today, I'm reading an old newspaper report about a bunyip sighting at Nagambie, Victoria in 1885, so we'll get into it. This was published in Melbourne's Weekly Times on Saturday, the 25th of April, 1885. The bunyip is not yet dead. Like the sea serpent, it is constantly being observed, but it has never yet been caught. However, if those interested in the legends of the Aborigines desire to push the matter to scientific proof, an opportunity is now afforded them. The Nagambie Times has an account of the capture of a lagoon monster, which must indeed be the veritable devil of our Aboriginal friends, says this voracious journal. On Wednesday evening, two men who were travelling across to Nagambie from Coy's diggings were overtaken by night, the darkness being so intense that after crossing the river they lost the track, and in a short time found themselves blocked on all sides with lagoons. The rain poured in torrents. Heavy peals of thunder caused the forest giants to tremble, and at intervals the vivid flashes forked lightning would reveal for an instant chains of overflowing swamps, after which the night seemed darker than before. To proceed further would be risking their lives. The men, after this soliloquizing, took refuge in a hollow tree, their dog keeping sentry outside. The travellers were aroused from their reverie by the furious barking of their dog. The animal had attacked something, evidently not 10 yards away, but it was too dark to observe what caused Snyder's uneasiness. Perhaps it was a stray cow, or sheep, or, what was more likely, a possum. Presently, a vivid flash of lightning illuminated the overcast heavens and dreary forest, and revealed to a sight a most hideous monster, standing erect on the edge of a swamp. In the darkness, its eyes sparkled like diamonds, and by this means the terrified men could watch its movements without danger. They ventured a few yards closer, and a few flashes of lightning then followed, enabled them to form a pretty accurate estimate of its size, and to give a true description of the mysterious brute. Its head resembled that of a wild boar in shape, with two small ears that stood erect. The body was as round as a calf, and appeared to be coated with stiff bristles that stood on end. Its legs were not discernible, and in length it appeared about 12 feet. To capture this wonder was the next difficulty, and the only weapons they possessed was a pocket knife each. The dog could be depended on to do his share, but at that moment a pitiful howl was heard from poor Snyder. What could have happened? The dog had ceased to bark. The men supplied themselves with two strong sticks, and creeping up stealthily, dealt the monster two severe blows on the head, which flattened it out on the ground. It was now found to be much larger than at first anticipated, and it had short legs with broad webbed feet. The men returned to the hollow tree, where they anxiously awaited daylight. They fell asleep in spite of their endeavours to remain awake. When they awoke, it was broad daylight. They had jumped up to look at their victim, but the animal had recovered the stroke, and they were just in time to see it dive into the Horseshoe Lagoon. They afterwards found the dog's head on the ground, the poor brute having evidently been a feed for the lagoon monster. There can be no further doubt of the existence of the bunyip after this. He is just as much a living reality as the sea serpent. The end. Well, that's pretty amazing and terrifying. They're describing it as a hideous monster that was standing erect on the edge of the swamp. Its eyes sparkled like diamonds. Its head resembled a wild boar with two small ears that stood erect. Its body was as round as a calf and it was coated with stiff bristles that stood on end. It had short legs that had broad webbed feet, and it ate the dog and just left its head. And that would have been like just so terrifying. And like it was probably a large leopard seal. I'm not going to argue about what it was. I'm pretty sure it was a seal, but this would have been just absolutely terrifying in the dark and that. And you only have like pocket knives. Okay, poor Snyder. Okay, that's it for me. I'll get back to you all next time. Bye.